Dear friends, once again it's very hearty and warm welcome. Dear students, in this lecture we are going to start the study of new chapter in our syllabus, that is chapter number 4, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Dear friends, first of all, let us talk about the meaning of genetic material. What is genetic material? Genetic material is a substance which contains biological information in coded form. Listen carefully. Genetic material means it is the substance which contains biological information in coded form. Biological information means the information which can control the growth, development, metabolic activities and all the different characters as well as physiological functions of that living organism. So the substance which contains such biological information, in short, the information regarding the biological activity in coded form and which can be transmitted, which can be inherited into the next generation and causes expression of that biological information into the offsprings is known as genetic material. Genetic material म्हणजे काय या शब्दाचा आधी अर्थ आपण समजून घेत होतो. जेनेटिक मटेरियल याचा अर्थ असा पदार्थ, असं सबस्टन्स की ज्याच्यामध्ये त्या सजीवाच्या संपूर्ण शारीरिक क्रियांच्या संदर्भात आणि शारीरिक गुणधर्मांच्या संदर्भात काही माहिती आहे, इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे कोडेड फॉर्म मध्ये, सांकेतिक स्वरूपात, की जी इन्फॉर्मेशन, जी माहिती पुढच्या पिढीमध्ये संक्रमित होते आणि अपत्यांमध्ये प्रत्यक्ष त्या माहितीच्या आधारावर वेगवेगळे गुणधर्म हे एक्सप्रेस होत असतात, अवतरित होत असतात. नाउ at this moment we all are very well known about the nature of genetic material. Now it is confirmed that in all living organisms as well as in few viruses, genetic material is in the form of DNA. But Gregor John Mendel first of all proposed that there is presence of some material, there are presence of some particles in the cells of living organisms which are responsible for the expression and inheritance of characters. सर्वप्रथम ग्रेगर जॉन मेंडेल या जेनेटिसिस्टने असं सुचवलं की सजीवांच्या पेशींमध्ये कुठले तरी पार्टिकल्स असतात, काहीतरी पर्टिक्युलेट मॅटर असतं की ज्यामुळे त्या सजीवांमध्ये वेगवेगळे गुणधर्म अवतरित होतात आणि पुढच्या पिढीमध्ये संक्रमित होतात. मेंडेल called that particles as factor or determiner. We people have studied already while studying the Mendelism, while studying the Mendelian characters and that laws of inheritance. So according to Mendel, that particles which are responsible for the expression and inheritance of characters are known as factor or determiner. Of course, later on, the Mendel's factor renamed as a gene. Mendel ज्याला फॅक्टर म्हणत होता त्यालाच नंतर जीन हा शब्द देण्यात आला. Now, in 20th century, it has been confirmed that the gene is the hereditary unit. Gene is considered as the basic unit of heredity and gene is made up of DNA. But initially the DNA, that is nucleic acid, were discovered by one great bacteriologist, namely Friedrich Miescher. Let me talk about this Friedrich Miescher. Friedrich Miescher, he was British bacteriologist as well as he was medical officer by profession. This Friedrich Miescher collected the pus from the bandages of the local hospitals, and that pus mostly consists of WBCs, white blood cells, as its main component. When he treated that WBCs or pus cells with the help of weak alkaline solution, the WBCs lysed, WBCs broken down, and the nuclei of WBCs settled down in the solution. Now when he isolated the material present in that nuclei of WBCs, he came to know that the material was rich in phosphorus as well as it was acidic in nature, and he called that unique chemical substance what he isolated from the nuclei of WBCs as nuclein. It means, first of all, the Friedrich Miescher, he isolated the material from the nucleus, unique chemical substance from the nucleus. He called that material as nuclein. Nuclein being acidic in nature, later on nuclein was renamed as nucleic acid. Nuclein was renamed as nucleic acid by another scientist, namely Altman. Now we are known that nucleic acids are of two types, that is DNA and RNA, and also it has been confirmed that DNA is the genetic material in all living organisms. But for that purpose, so many different scientists perform different experiments to prove the chemical nature of genetic material, to prove the genetic material is DNA in living organism. So let us talk about that experiments which proved, which confirmed the chemical nature of genetic material is in the form of DNA, or genetic material in living organisms is DNA. Let us talk about that experiments. The genetic material is DNA. By 1900 AD, it means at the beginning of 20th century, the scientists knew genes are responsible for the expression and inheritance of character. Also, the genes are present on the chromosomes, and chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins. By the year 1900, scientists, geneticists knew that the genes are responsible for the expression and inheritance of character. Genes are present on the chromosomes, and chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins. But many of the geneticists thought that the proteins are the major component of chromosome. Proteins are complex and large molecule, and proteins contain genetic information. Proteins contain biological information. On the other hand, DNA is less significant. DNA is small molecule, less significant, and does not contain genetic information. But later on, many scientists performed different experiments, and through which they confirmed that DNA is only the genetic material in all living organisms, also in few viruses. अर्थात सुरुवातीला शास्त्रज्ञांना हे माहित होतं की सजीवांचे गुणधर्म नियंत्रित करण्याचं काम जीन्स करत असतात. जीन्स हे क्रोमोझोम्सवर असतात. क्रोमोझोम्स हे DNA आणि प्रोटीन्सने बनलेले असतात. मात्र पूर्वीच्या शास्त्रज्ञांच्या विचारानुसार प्रोटीन्स हा महत्त्वाचा घटक आहे, आणि प्रोटीन्स हे जेनेटिक इन्फॉर्मेशन कंट्रोल करतात, आणि DNA मात्र लेस सिग्निफिकंट आहे. DNA हे स्मॉल मॉलिक्युल्स आहेत, आणि त्यांना या ठिकाणी हेरिडिटी मध्ये कुठलंही महत्त्व नाही. इट वॉज द इनिशियल थॉट. बट लेटर ऑन, जसं आता मी म्हटलं की वेगवेगळ्या शास्त्रज्ञांनी वेगवेगळे प्रयोग केले आणि त्याच्यातून त्यांनी हे निश्चित केलं, कन्फर्म केलं की सर्व सजीवांमध्ये जेनेटिक मटेरियल हे डीएनएच्या स्वरूपात असतं. So now here we have to study about different experiments such as the Griffith's experiment, followed by every MacLeod and McCarthy's experiment, then another experiment performed by Chase and Hershey. So let us talk about the first, that is Griffith's experiment. Frederick Griffith performed his experiment on bacterium Streptococcus pneumoniae or Diplococcus pneumoniae. This bacterium is responsible to cause disease pneumonia. You know pneumonia, it is pulmonary disease, lung disease, and it may cause the death. So the Streptococcus pneumoniae, it is a pneumonia causing bacterium, pneumonia causing pathogen, and it causes this disease pneumonia to mammals including human being. There are two strains of this Streptococcus pneumoniae. Strains means genetic varieties. There are two strains of Streptococcus pneumoniae such as S strain or S type. Here S, it stands for smooth because this strain of bacterium shows a protective capsule, protective covering around its cell which is made up of polysaccharide, and this S strain is pathogenic or virulent. Pathogenic or virulent means it has ability to cause the disease. Second strain is R strain. R stands for rough. Now this R strain is non-capsulated, that is the cell of this strain is not covered by that protective polysaccharide capsule, and that's why its external surface does not appear smooth, and this R strain, non-capsulated strain, is non-pathogenic or it is avirulent. In the sense it cannot cause the disease, that is non-pathogenic. So I said that the Streptococcus pneumoniae has two strains such as S strain, that is smooth, capsulated, it is pathogenic or virulent, responsible to cause the disease, and R strain is rough, non-capsulated, without protective covering, that is capsule, non-pathogenic and avirulent, means it cannot cause the disease. The Griffith performed his experiment in 4 steps. Let us talk. In first step, Griffith injected living R strain of bacteria into the healthy mice, and he found that the mice survived. It means the mice remain alive. Mice did not suffer from the disease pneumonia, and thus the mice remain alive, mice survived. In second step, Griffith injected living S strain into the another set of mice. In second step, Griffith injected living S type of bacteria into the mice, into another set of mice, and he found that the mice suffered from the disease pneumonia, and all mice died. It has been proved that the R strain is non-pathogenic or virulent, cannot cause the disease, and the living S strain is virulent, pathogenic, it means it can cause the disease. याच्यावरून असं सिद्ध होतं की लिव्हिंग आर स्ट्रेन या प्रकारचे बॅक्टेरिया हे नॉन पॅथोजेनिक आहेत, ते डिसीज घडवू शकत नाहीत आणि लिव्हिंग एस स्ट्रेन या प्रकारचे बॅक्टेरिया पॅथोजेनिक आहेत, व्हायरुलंट आहेत, ते डिसीज घडवू शकतात आणि त्यामुळे त्या ठिकाणी माईसची डेथ घडून येते. असं का? बिकॉज द एस स्ट्रेन इज कॅप्सुलेटेड. It has additional character, that is presence of protective covering around itself, and that's why that S strain of bacteria cannot be easily killed in the body of animal, in the body of human being, or say in the body of another mammal. On the other hand, as R strain is without capsule, without protective covering, and that's why though it get entered into the body of mammal or human being, it can be easily killed, it can be easily destroyed by our immune cells, and thus it cannot cause the disease. Now in third step, Griffith injected heat killed S strain, heat killed S strain into the another set of mice. Heat killed S strain into the another set of mice. Heat killed in the sense the S strain of bacteria were treated by high temperature, they were killed, and then that material injected into the mice. He found that the mice at this time again did not suffer from the disease pneumonia and remain alive. तिसऱ्या स्टेप मध्ये ग्रिफिथने हीट किल्ड एस स्ट्रेन या प्रकारचे बॅक्टेरिया माईस मध्ये इंजेक्ट केले की यावेळेला मात्र दॅट माईस डिडंट सफर फ्रॉम द निमोनिया. यावेळेला त्या ठिकाणी निमोनिया रोग झाला नाही आणि सर्वच्या सर्व माईस हे जिवंत राहिले. दे रिमेन अलाइव, दे सर्वाइव्ह अँड डिडंट डाय. नाउ इन फोर्थ स्टेप, ग्रिफिथ injected the mixture of, listen carefully, heat killed S and living R. Heat killed S and living R into the mice, and very amazing to know, all the mice suffered from disease pneumonia and they get died. Listen. In fourth step, when the Griffith injected heat killed S and living R strain, mixture of heat killed S and living R strain into the mice suffered from the pneumonia and they get died. Not only this, but the Griffith isolated the colonies, that is numerous living S into the blood of that dead mice. एवढंच नाही तर ज्या वेळेला त्या ग्रिफिथने या माईस ज्यांची डेथ झाली होती निमोनियामुळे, इन्फेक्शनमुळे, त्यांचं ब्लड सॅम्पल त्यांनी कलेक्ट केलं आणि त्याचं इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन केल्यानंतर त्याच्या लक्षात आलं की त्या ब्लड सॅम्पल मध्ये असंख्य प्रमाणात लिव्हिंग एस आढळले. वी नो दॅट ही डिडंट इंजेक्ट लिव्हिंग एस. मीन्स व्हॉट हियर? The living R type of bacteria, they get transformed into living S. They get transformed into living S. It means the avirulent, non-pathogenic, non-disease causing bacterium, that is R strain, get transformed into virulent or pathogenic or disease causing S strain of bacteria. From this, Griffith concluded that the living R strain of bacteria must have absorbed something from the heat killed S. Try to understand. Griffith concluded that the living R strain of bacteria absorb something from heat killed S, and because of which the living are acquired some new character, that is the formation of capsule, and living R become living S. Actually, that's something what Griffith called as transforming principle. अर्थात तो जो म्हटला होता की समथिंग म्हणजे या हीट किल्ड एस मधून जे काही समथिंग या लिव्हिंग आर ने ऍब्सॉर्ब केलं त्या समथिंगला ग्रिफिथने ट्रान्सफॉर्मिंग प्रिन्सिपल असं म्हटलं. ट्रान्सफॉर्मिंग प्रिन्सिपल. Actually, that transforming principle was nothing but the genetic material. अर्थात हे ट्रान्सफॉर्मिंग प्रिन्सिपल म्हणजे जेनेटिक मटेरियल होतं, but Griffith was unknown about it. He only suggested some material, something get transformed from heat killed S to the living R, because of which a virulent non-pathogenic living R strain get transformed into the living S, and this phenomenon is also named as bacterial transformation. Bacterial transformation means it is the phenomenon of absorption of foreign DNA by some bacterial cell, and due to which there is a development of new character. This phenomenon is called as the bacterial transformation. जेव्हा एखादी बॅक्टेरियल सेल ही बाहेरून कुठलं तरी दुसऱ्याचं डीएनए ऍब्सॉर्ब करते, स्वतःमध्ये घेते, आणि त्यामुळे त्या बॅक्टेरियामध्ये कुठला तरी नवीन गुणधर्म निर्माण होतो, याला बॅक्टेरियल ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन असं म्हणतात. सो फ्रॉम धिस एक्सपेरिमेंट the Griffith suggested the something what get transformed from heat killed S into the living R is nothing but the genetic material. But he couldn't prove what is the exact chemical nature of that something. What is the exact chemical nature of that genetic material? And to prove that, another scientist performed another experiments, such as Avery, MacLeod, McCarty, Chase, Hershey, etc. And so now we have to move to the second experiment, that is the Avery, MacLeod and McCarty's experiment. Experiment by Avery, MacLeod and McCarty. So now let us talk the second experiment, that is the experiment by Avery, MacLeod and McCarty. These three scientists, Avery, MacLeod and McCarty, they modified and repeated Griffith's experiment. Just now we have completed the study of Griffith's transformation experiment, and here we are going to study the second experiment that is performed by these three scientists. I said that the Avery, MacLeod and McCarty, they modified and repeated experiment of Griffith, and through their experiment they provided clear evidence that the genetic material is in the form of DNA, and it is responsible for the transformation in bacteria. Now let us see about the methodology of this experiment. These three scientists initially separated the extract of S strain. These three scientists initially separated the extract of S strain. S strain means smooth strain, pathogenic, virulent strain, that is disease causing strain, into the carbohydrates, proteins, RNA and DNA fractions. Let me write here. So these three scientists separated the extract of S strain into carbohydrates, proteins, RNA and DNA, and they added these fractions separately into separate culture medium containing living R strain. They added these carbohydrate, protein, RNA and DNA fractions separately into separate culture medium containing living R strain. Let me show diagrammatically here. Just consider, here are the test tubes containing the culture medium. You know, culture medium is nothing but the nutrient medium which contain all essential nutrients necessary for the growth and multiplication of bacteria. So here I have shown the 4 test tubes with nutrient medium, culture medium, and each of these 4 test tubes with culture medium are mixed with R strain, living R strain of disease causing pathogen, that is Streptococcus pneumoniae bacteria. Okay, I am going to repeat once again. I said that initially they separated the extract of a strain, that is disease causing pathogenic virulent strain of bacteria, into carbohydrate, proteins, RNA and DNA fractions, and they mixed that fractions separately into culture medium with living R strain, You know, R strain means rough strain of bacterium which is non-pathogenic, non-capsulated or virulent. When they mixed these fractions separately into different culture media, they found that the transformation of R strain of bacteria into the S strain of bacteria took place only in the culture medium in which the DNA fraction was added. What did I say? They found that only the transformation of R strain of bacteria took place into the S strain, that is smooth strain, in the culture medium in which the DNA fraction of S strain was added. So first of all, it provided the evidence that DNA is responsible for the transformation, and for confirmation again they added enzyme DNAs into this culture medium. Enzyme DNAs means enzyme deoxyribonuclease, the enzyme which is responsible for the digestion or breaking down of DNA. DNA ला ब्रेकडाउन करणार, DNA ला डायजेस्ट करून टाकणार एन्झाइम DNAs, deoxyribonuclease, हे त्यांनी त्या ठिकाणी कल्चर मीडियम मध्ये ऍड केलं, and then they found that there was no transformation of R strain into the S strain. So it clearly proved that the DNA is only the material responsible for the transformation of R strain into the S strain, or DNA is the transforming principle. DNA is the genetic material in bacteria. In this manner, through their experiment, the Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy first of all gave clear evidence about the nature of genetic material, and genetic material is nothing but the DNA and not the proteins. One more experiment performed by 2 scientists, A.D. Hershey and M.J. Chase. So let us talk about that one more experiment. A.D. Hershey and M.J. Chase experiment. Hershey and Chase, these 2 scientists again performed one more experiment through which they gave a very concrete evidence about the nature of genetic material, and once again they proved that the genetic material is only DNA and not the proteins. The Chase and Hershey performed their experiment by using bacteriophage T2 and bacterium E. coli, Escherichia coli, E. coli. Chase and Hershey, they performed their experiment by using bacteriophage T2 and bacterium E. coli. First of all, let me talk little bit about this bacteriophage T2. Bacteriophage means the virus which attack and kill the bacteria. Bacteriophage means the virus which attack and kill, destroy, break down the bacteria known as bacteriophages. Now here this bacteriophage as usual shows a very simple structure. Structurally it consists of only two components, that is capsid. Capsid, that is outer protective covering. It is made up of protein, and the central core with DNA. Central core with DNA. Bacteriophage consists of two main components such as the protein coat, that is outer protective covering, also known as capsid, and the DNA core. And we know bacterium E. coli, it is a bacterium, and it inhabits the human colon. That's why its species is coli. Now we have to study the actual experiment performed by Hershey and Chase. Before to that, let me tell you, when this bacteriophage attacked the bacterium E. coli, at that time only its DNA enters into the bacterial cell while protein coat remains outside. Now let me tell you about the experiment. Initially, Chase and Hershey made the DNA of bacteriophage radioactively labeled. Listen carefully. Initially, Chase and Hershey made phage DNA radioactively labeled. Means what? They introduced the radioactive phosphorus P32 into the DNA of some bacteriophages. For that purpose, initially they cultured the infected E. coli bacteria. Listen, they cultured infected E. coli bacteria. Infected in the sense the E. coli bacteria infected by bacteriophage T2. Let me show in the diagram. Suppose here I have shown the bacterial cell which is infected by bacteriophage T2. So here inside the E. coli there are many viruses with their characteristic protein coat and DNA in its core. So initially they grew the infected E. coli bacteria into the culture medium containing radioactive phosphorus, that is P32. Radioactive phosphorus, that is P32. याचा अर्थ सुरुवातीला चेस आणि हर्शे यांनी या बॅक्टेरियोफेज T2 चा जो DNA आहे त्याला रेडिओ बनवलं. याचा अर्थ त्याच्या DNA मध्ये फॉस्फरस, हेवी आयसोटोप ऑफ फॉस्फरस, दॅट इज P32 याला इंट्रोड्यूस केलं. आणि ते करण्यासाठी त्यांनी इन्फेक्टेड ई कोलाय, इन्फेक्टेड इस्करिशिया कोलाय या बॅक्टेरियाला कल्चर मीडियम मध्ये ग्रो केलं की ज्या कल्चर मीडियम मध्ये हा रेडिओ फॉस्फरस प्रेझेंट होता. So ultimately that radioactive phosphorus was utilized here for the, we can say, development and multiplication of viruses, as the phosphorus is present only in DNA and not the protein coat. फॉस्फरस हा डीएनए मध्ये असतो पण प्रोटीन कोट मध्ये नाहीये आणि त्यामुळे ऍक्च्युली डीएनए वुड बी रेडिओ लेबल्ड, अर्थात त्यामुळे त्या ठिकाणी डीएनए फक्त रेडिओ लेबल्ड झाला आणि त्याच्यामध्ये P32 हा रेडिओ ऍक्टिव्ह फॉस्फरस इंट्रोड्यूस झाला. सो वी कॅन से नाउ हियर व्हॉटएव्हर viruses produced, these were with radioactive DNA, with radioactive DNA, and also they made the protein coat radioactively labeled by culturing again another infected bacteria into another culture medium containing radioactive sulfur, that is S35. Let me explain you. Suppose here is another E. coli bacterium. It is also infected by T2 bacteriophage. It is also infected by T2 bacteriophage. As usual, it is with protein coat and DNA, and this bacterial cell cultured into nutrient medium, culture medium containing radioactive sulfur, that is S35. S35. Now the sulfur, it is the component of protein coat but not the DNA. So definitely that sulfur was utilized for the synthesis of protein coat during the multiplication of viruses, and thus now the viruses which were formed here in this infected bacterial cell, they would have the bacteriophages with radioactive protein coat, that is the protein coat with radioactive sulfur and not the phosphorus. It means that initially the Chase and Hershey, they made the phage DNA as well as the phage protein coat radioactive by introducing the radioactive elements, that is phosphorus 32 and sulfur 35 into the DNA and protein coat of viruses respectively. And now such two kinds of bacteriophages were allowed to infect the another and new set of E. coli bacteria. आणि आता या दोन्ही प्रकारचे जे बॅक्टेरियोफेजेस आहेत त्यांना पुन्हा ई कोलाई सेलला इन्फेक्ट करण्यासाठी अलाउ केलं गेलं. सो डायग्रामॅटिकली वी कॅन से अँड वी कॅन शो दॅट E. coli, here I have shown the E. coli. These both kinds of viruses, these both kinds of bacteriophages were allowed to infect the E. coli, and they found that after infection the radioactive phosphorus were present into the bacterial cell. They found the radioactive phosphorus present into the bacterial cell, while radioactive sulfur was present in the surrounding medium, that is only in the culture medium. Try to understand. अर्थात या दोन्ही प्रकारच्या बॅक्टेरियोफेजेसला ज्या वेळेला ई कोला या बॅक्टेरियमवर अटॅक करण्यासाठी इन्फेक्ट करण्यासाठी अलाउ केलं त्यावेळेला इन्फेक्शन झाल्यानंतर असं लक्षात आलं की या इन्फेक्टेड ई कोलाई सेलच्या आतमध्ये फक्त फॉस्फरस 32 हा रेडिओ ऍक्टिव्ह एलिमेंट होता आणि सराउंडिंग कल्चर मीडियम मध्ये मात्र रेडिओ ऍक्टिव्ह S35 हा एलिमेंट होता. दिस प्रूव्ड दॅट ड्युरिंग इन्फेक्शन द DNA एंटर्स इनटू द बॅक्टेरियल सेल. याच्यावरून असं सिद्ध होतं की ज्या वेळेला बॅक्टेरियोफेजेस हे बॅक्टेरियमवर इन्फेक्शन करतात त्यावेळेला त्या बॅक्टेरियोफेजेसचा फक्त DNA हा बॅक्टेरियाच्या सेलमध्ये प्रवेश करत असतो आणि प्रोटीन कोट मात्र हे बाहेर राहत असतात. नॉट ओनली दिस बट व्हेन द डॉटर व्हायरसेस, न्यूली फॉर्म व्हायरसेस inside the bacterial cell analyzed, ज्या वेळेला या ठिकाणी बॅक्टेरियल सेल मध्ये जे नवीन व्हायरसेस तयार झाले त्यांची तपासणी केली, त्यांचं अनालिसिस केलं, त्यावेळेला असं लक्षात आलं that phage progeny, that is the newly formed viruses also showed only presence of P32, that is radioactive phosphorus, and not the S35, that is radioactive sulfur. So it proved that the DNA is only the genetic material in that bacteriophages. DNA only enters into the bacterial cell during infection, and that DNA, it carries the necessary information for the synthesis of protein coat and multiplication of viruses. याच्यावरून हे सिद्ध होतं की ज्यावेळेला बॅक्टेरियोफेजेस हे बॅक्टेरियमवर अटॅक करतात त्यावेळेला त्या बॅक्टेरियोफेजचा फक्त DNA बॅक्टेरियाच्या सेलमध्ये प्रवेश करत असतो आणि त्या DNA वर असलेल्या बायोलॉजिकल इन्फॉर्मेशनच्या मदतीने व्हायरसेसचा प्रोटीन कोट सिंथेसाइज होत असतो, व्हायरसेसचं मल्टिप्लिकेशन होत असतं. म्हणजे बेसिकली द बायोलॉजिकल इन्फॉर्मेशन नेसेसरी फॉर द सिंथेसिस ऑफ प्रोटीन and multiplication of viruses is present on DNA and not the protein coat, and thus it get confirmed that the genetic material in bacteriophages is in the form of DNA. So here we have studied the 3 experiments which provided a very concrete evidence about the nature of genetic material, and it has been proved that DNA is only the genetic material in living organism. So let us stop here. Thank you.